So don't look at the here. Just talk to me.
Remember the first day you interviewed?
You scared me. Yes.
My dad got to laughing about that on the way home.
Did he?
He said, "Why don't you just learn to tone it down and stop being that way?"
Wendy, one of the things I want to get captured on camera is kind of the stories you've told when we've brought in visitors to the district as far as the computers, and you really didn't like the computers.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Did not like them.
And that stemmed back to your experiences in Wyoming, or?
Yes, Wyoming has a lot of money to spend on schools. The schools are beautiful, but anytime there's the latest technology or innovation comes out, they engage in it. So we had this beautiful, huge computer lab with a system called Plato YCAT.
Okay.
And we had to take our kids down halfway through each English period and plug them into these computers, and it wasn't teaching, and we all disliked it, but I felt like I lost my kids.
You just didn't have that relationship piece with them?
No, they were plugged into an electronic device, and they didn't like it, I didn't like it, but it just turned me off to any kind of technology.
Okay. And I know you and I had several conversations this fall about going to the one-to-one computers and stuff, and you had that experience coming into it, but I mean, has your perspective changed a little bit, or?
Oh yes, it has. I still say there are going to be teachers that are going to let their kids that's going to babysit their kids. They're not going to teach, they're going to let the computer take over, and that's wrong. That's not a good thing. I haven't seen that to a big extent here. When you started talking about this program, I was against it, and I just thought, well, they'll just bring them in my room, they can put them under their desks, and I don't want to see them. But as I started using them, my college prep kids helped me a lot, and we did a lot with Google Docs where they would write a paper, and then they would invite me in, or I would invite them in if I had written an example, and we could go over together, and I saw a real benefit with that. Then I added like taking notes, and they could create a folder and put it on their desktop, and anytime I wanted those notes out, they were right there.
Sure.
Because they don't forget those computers.
Right.
Where you can't get them to bring paper and pencil. So I did see the benefits, and then we even went so far as to put the newspaper online.
Yeah.
And
that's been pretty well received.
The kids just did for the first year, they did a great job.
Well, and we've talked about this before, but I think it was Katie Brown when we talked to her, and I asked her about you teaching and learning the computers, and her comment was, because you're fearless.
Well.
You know, and that was a great lesson for the kids to learn, is because you've been teaching now for
38 years.
38 years, and for you and the kids to learn together, and the kids to recognize that, and for you to model being fearless.
I laugh, but we have a good time over it.
Yeah. And
okay, yeah, you were right. You were right, yes. They're okay. They're a tool.
They're a tool, that's correct.
I would never allow them to take my place.
Correct.
But they're a good tool.
And then the other thing is have you gotten your new iTablet back from Mr. Armistead yet?
It was a struggle. I bought an iPad and I gave it to Trey to play with for, I don't know, he was supposed to have it 2 or 3 days. And he learned to use it, and then he was to teach me. Well, it took about a week, and I finally was able to wrestle it away from him. But for what my husband and I are going to do with it, it's a great thing. I like it a lot.
And your husband likes using it too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just wish they had a camera in them. I think that would be, if they had a camera, then we could Skype and all that.
Don't you think it'll come to that?
I hope so.
I think mine will be obsolete in a year probably, but for what we want, it's all we need.
Okay. Wendy, would there be anything else that you'd want to share about this experience, or even your experiences in teaching and stuff? I mean, you've got an experience based second to none.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I first started teaching, your fingers were constantly blue from mimeograph machines, and if you wanted to show a movie, you threaded the film strip through the, you know, the loops on the projector. And at my first paycheck was $304.92 for
Oh,
a
man.
month, you know, and my rent was $75 and gas was a quarter. So I've seen a lot of changes, but you know what? Teaching is still teaching. It doesn't change. Doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter that now I can print and collate and staple on one little machine, and that my paycheck is significantly larger, and it's still those kids out there looking at you every day. And the people that forget that better get out of education.
Well, Wendy, I got to tell you too, and I think this is my 5th year of working with you, and I will always remember you.
Thank you.
And you left a mark on my life as well too, a positive one.
Thank
So.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.